Thank you so much for joining us to learn all about why Whistler in the wintertime is such a magical place. My name is Andrea Lee, and I am representing Tourism Whistler. I just included a couple of photos there just to give you an idea of some of the great things you get to do when you live in such a magical place. I'm one of about 10,000 permanent residents that calls Whistler home, and I am joined today by Stephanie.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie from Whistler Blackcomb, and I too, we love to, as you can see from our photos, we love to hike and ski and be outdoors, so that's very much what it's like to live in Whistler.
So, you guys need to know how your guests can get to us and where we are. So, Whistler is very conveniently located just 2 hours north from Vancouver. So, your guests would fly into the Vancouver International Airport, and there's more direct flights from Australia, so it makes it quite easy and quicker to get here. There's a new Brisbane to YVR direct flight, as well as Sydney to YVR. And then once your guests do arrive at the airport, they can take one of many different transfer options to get to us. So quick and easy, your guests can choose to travel by bus, limousine, a rental car, plenty of different options available and just 2 hours up the road. So this is what it looks like when you get to Whistler. So featured here in this photo, it just gives you a good perspective of the mountains and the village. On the right-hand side is Whistler Mountain. On the left-hand side is Blackcomb Mountain. And in between both mountains is Whistler Village. And you can't see it in this photo, but connecting both of the mountains here is the peak-to-peak gondola. So that makes it quite easy and accessible for guests to get from one mountain to the other and from the village up the mountain for sightseeing. So you can see that everything is quite conveniently located. Also, as you could see from that previous shot, we are a ski-in, ski-out village. This gives you a good angle on how you can literally just ski right off the mountain and you are in the heart of the village. So you can see the different hotels and lots of different bars and restaurants. So you can literally ski right off the mountain into your hotel or into your après or whatever you like. So very easily accessible. Also worth mentioning is that Whistler is a pedestrian-only village, so this makes it very convenient for people to get around. There are no vehicles in the village, so it's walking only. So you can come right off the hill and then walk to your accommodation. And also the village features over more than 90 different bars and restaurants to choose from, as well as over 200 different shops. So lots is available to your guests in a pedestrian-only village. And this is also quite nice, so if your guests are flying in, we often recommend that they just take a bus transfer or chauffeured transfer, as they will not require a vehicle once they get here. Also, any hotels that are not direct ski-in, ski-out access, all hotels or most of them do offer a shuttle service, so they can shuttle you right to the base of the mountain, so you don't have to worry about walking and lugging your skis and walking in your ski boots. Also, those hotels that do not have a designated shuttle, our village actually has its own complimentary shuttle that runs on a continuous loop. So you never have to worry about your guests having to lug their things around. They can easily get to the mountain. So restaurants and bars, we have plenty to choose from here, as I mentioned, and we also have something for every budget. So whatever you might be looking for, you can find it in Whistler. If you're looking for family-friendly restaurants, we have plenty of those, lots of fine dining restaurants, lots of pubs and clubs. Featured here on the top right is worthwhile noting, this is our Ketel One Vodka Ice Room. So this is a room literally made of ice. It sits at -32 degrees Celsius, and it is actually the coldest vodka ice room in the world, so quite unique to Whistler. Also on the bottom left there, that is one of our fine dining restaurants, and behind that woman, there's over 20,000 different select bottles of wine, so some fun, unique options while you're in Whistler. And I'm just going to pass it over now to Stephanie from Whistler Blackcomb, and she's going to talk to you about the mountain product.
So welcome to Whistler Blackcomb. So we've been rated the #1 ski resort in North America for the last 3 years, which we're very excited about. As Andrea mentioned, this gives you a good lay of the land. It's a different perspective of the map and how the village is laid out. You can see the peak-to-peak gondola connects the two mountains at the top there. So Whistler Blackcomb is quite renowned for its snow. We do get a ton of snow, on average about 11.5 meters of snowfall annually, and our season is really long. We go from end of November until the end of April as our main season, and actually Blackcomb Mountain stays open until the end of May for skiing. So we do have a ton of snow. This year we actually exceeded our annual snowfall at over 12 meters, which made for a fantastic season. This just gives you a good perspective of how much snow we actually get. And what you'll note from this is actually March can be one of our snowiest months. A lot of Australians don't think about coming skiing to Whistler in March, but it is a time that we do recommend because we have great winter quality snow and tons of it. It's a little bit less busy than the December-January period, so if people are not tied to school holidays, then you could think about March. This year we actually had 300 centimeters fall in the first 3 weeks of March alone. In addition to the snowfall, we also have a ton of snowmaking machines. They're situated all over the mountains, so it really does extend our season top to bottom, skiing from top to bottom with tons of snow, as well as lots of grooming throughout all of the terrain on Whistler Blackcomb. So speaking of terrain, we have over 3,300 hectares of skiable terrain between Whistler and Blackcomb Mountains, so it is actually the largest ski area in North America. We have 37 lifts, 12 bowls, and lots of skiing of all ability levels. This just shows kind of a comparison between some of our competitors in North America in terms of snowfall and amount of terrain that is skiable. And the nice thing with Whistler Blackcomb is because we have so much on both mountains, we have kind of 3 different areas. You've got the base area, village area, then the mid-mountain, which has tons of trees and great tree skiing, great for powder stashes, and then we have the high open bowls, as I mentioned, between both mountains. So you do get up into the high alpine above the tree line and can get into some backcountry as well. The peak-to-peak gondola is a world record-breaking gondola. It's actually in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's the highest gondola in the world, as well as the longest unsupported span. So it's about 4 kilometers across the valley, and 3 kilometers of that is unsupported. So that's kind of a unique experience in itself, and it's a great way to move between the mountains and be able to ski both mountains in one day, or depending on the weather, staying in the high alpine rather than going back to the village. In terms of terrain, though, we do have a ton of different aspects, whether you're looking for terrain parks, which we have 4 of, there's half pipes, there's tons of great groom piste and a lot of off-piste snow as well. So there's really something for everybody. One thing to note is Whistler Blackcomb is great for having a beginner, intermediate, and expert terrain off of each lift. So as you can see here, this is the top of the peak on Whistler Mountain, and there's an easy green trail that goes right from the top. So even if you're a beginner skier, you can get up and enjoy the high alpine. This is one of our lift tickets. So we are a RFID gate access throughout all the lift areas on Whistler Blackcomb. And the neat thing about the ticket this year is we've incorporated kind of an online app that you can track your mileage on the mountain and some personal stats, so it's kind of fun to compete with friends and family. Rentals, we have 9 different rental locations throughout Whistler Village area and the Creekside areas. And the nice thing about that is we have free storage and free tuning. So you can leave all your equipment at home and not worry about any extra baggage fees on the airlines and just rent at any of the 3 mountain bases. Anywhere from a beginner, which is the sport category, performances are great intermediate and higher end, and then the demo categories like the Ferrari of the fleet. And of course, lots of the rental shops, we also have great retail options as well. I think one of the best ways to see and discover Whistler Blackcomb is through Snow School and by taking a lesson. I used to be a ski instructor, but I find when I go on holiday anywhere else in the world, I definitely hire a guide because you're limited in your time and in how much you can explore on the mountains. And by going with a guide, you're going to be able to see everything in a short amount of time and discover the secret stashes that you might not find on your own. And the other thing to note is you do get lift line priority. So if it is a busy time, such as Christmas, you don't have to wait in line. There's lots of different adult lesson options. So whether you're a beginner or you're an advanced skier or snowboarder, there's something really for everybody. There's also lots of early booking offers. So $50 off select camps for adults as well as for kids. And we have private lesson offers as well. So there's lots to do and explore on the mountain, and going with a guide is definitely the way to do it. So one of our group lessons is called Max 4. We do offer a maximum of 4 people in that lesson, and it's great for beginners in particular because they get a lot of individual attention, and there is the option to do 2 days and get the 3rd day free. The camp is another program that's good for adult skiers from levels sort of low intermediate up to advanced, and that's a 3 or 4 day camp that is a great way to explore both mountains and really improve your skiing. Extremely Canadian is another option. It's a 2-day extreme steep skiing clinic. Those are for skiers. They also offer private lessons, and new for them in the last couple of years is backcountry skiing. So I went out with them this year, went out into the backcountry, lived here all my life, and explored new terrain that I didn't realize was out there. So by going with a guide, you're definitely going to experience some great new terrain, and just on the outskirts of Whistler Blackcomb terrain, which is great. Kids lessons. Whistler Kids is one of a well-known ski school for children. We have tons of instructors for skiers, snowboarders, and the kids programs really do fill up. So our adventure camps are probably the most popular. They're a Monday to Friday program for kids as young as 3 years old all the way up to 18, and those are some of our teen programs. So definitely some of the bonuses is they do have GPS technology, so it's a little anklet that goes around their leg. Kids are not going to get lost. They're going to be tied to their instructor. But the fun thing is with the GPS technology, at the end of the day, the kids can show mom and dad where they skied, how much they skied, all the runs they went on online. So that's pretty cool. And again, we have some early booking offers with the children's ski school programs as well. And as I mentioned, particularly if you have guests coming around Christmas and in the January school holiday period, booking early, like booking now for those families will ensure that they get a spot and enjoy their holiday. There's lots of great kids-only areas on the mountain. So this is the Tree Fort, which is on Whistler Mountain. There's also a Magic Castle nestled in the trees on Blackcomb Mountain. So lots of really fun play areas while the kids are skiing on the mountain, whether they're with a lesson or with their families. And with snowboarding, we take kids as young as 4 years old for snowboarding lessons. And for skiing lessons, it's 3 years old is the youngest age. We also offer daycare for children 18 months to 48 months. And there's a few different daycare locations in the village area. Teen programs, as I mentioned, and we do have some après teen programs as well. Now, heli skiing is kind of a unique thing to do as a resort. A lot of heli skiing in British Columbia is lodge-based, where you have to go for a whole week, but Whistler Heli Skiing accesses a ton of terrain. It's about 50 times the size of Whistler Blackcomb, and there's 3 different packages that are offered. they can they head out right from the resort. They can drop the kids off at ski school, then mom and dad could head out for a day of heli skiing and be back at the end of the day to pick up the kids and have an après where they show the video of their heli ski day. The neat thing with that is you're going to have a great lunch out in the field. The helicopter ride in itself is amazing, not to mention the great skiing terrain that you're going to find just beyond our actual Whistler Blackcomb Mountains. And what I would recommend if you do have people looking to do heli ski is to do it near the front of their holiday so you can get it actually booked in, and then once they arrive in resort they can go to the store, talk to the heli ski guides and some of the staff, see the video that was playing for that day, and if they need to adjust their dates because of weather or anything else in their holiday, they have the option to do that. If they've booked it at the end of their stay, then there's not as much flexibility that way. So just one little tip there. So yeah, great experience. One thing that you can add on to a great ski day at Whistler Blackcomb are Fresh Tracks Mountaintop Breakfast. That happens on Whistler Mountain every day from about mid-December to mid-April, and it's an early load breakfast. So you get up there 7:30 in the morning, have a great breakfast, and then you're the first ones out on the slopes, whether it's cruisy, groomers, or great powder. If it's a powder day, I definitely recommend getting there really early because it's a popular thing to do. Great way to start your day, and then you can finish early if you like and do some of the other activities around town. It is limited to the first 650 people in line, but the ticket is not date specific, so if you did pre-book the ticket, they could use it anytime through their stay. The Tube Park is another activity that's really great for families. It's great for groups of friends, and it's open until 6 o'clock in the evening. It's on the side of Blackcomb Mountain, so you can actually access the Blackcomb gondola right from the village center for free to get up to the Tube Park. It's a great activity to do after skiing or on perhaps a day off from skiing on the mountain. And in terms of dining on the mountain, so Andrea mentioned there's tons of dining in the village, of course, but on the mountain, we do pride ourselves in having a lot of different food options on Blackcomb and Whistler, whether it's a log cabin nestled at the top of the mountain or a fine dining lunch in Christine's on Blackcomb Mountain. There's also fresh waffles at Crystal Hut on Blackcomb, and really lots of different food options in a large servery restaurants as well, whether it's Asian or Mexican or burgers, but also lots of other options available. And of course, Whistler's quite well known for the après. We have lots of great après bars right at the base of the mountains. So the best day ever at Whistler Blackcomb, we never really get tired of doing this. Andrea and I do this on a regular weekend, whether it's Fresh Tracks, skiing and riding all day, jumping on the peak-to-peak to access some new terrain on the other mountain, meeting friends for après, and then hitting the Tube Park in the evening with a bunch of friends. We do that often as a group work activity, and then you can cap off the evening with shopping through the village after some great dining. So that's just a good snapshot of what your guest day could look like here. So just to go over a couple of our early booking offers, you can contact your preferred ski wholesaler for all the details in terms of pricing and dates for everything. But our early bird lift ticket offers combined with hotel packaging is up to August 31st. That's the best savings. And then our next deadline offer is November 15th. With that November 15th, there's also the rentals and snow school offers. So lots of discounts available when you're booking early. We really do encourage it. And then, of course, there's kids ski and rent free. That's offered all season long for children up to 12 years old with a paying adult. The kids rent free, though, is only available for booking until November 15th. So just some dates to keep in mind to save your guests the most. And I'll pass it back to Andrea.
So now that you know some of the many reasons that Whistler is so fantastic, you're going to want to secure your clients a great place to stay. In Whistler, we're lucky because we have plenty of choices. You can choose from charming mountainside townhomes, full-service hotels and lodges, secluded alpine homes, and fully equipped condominiums. So whatever your clients are looking for and whatever budget they might have, you can find that in Whistler, and you can book through your preferred Australian wholesaler. So for those people that potentially are not looking to get out on the mountain and go skiing, rest assured there are plenty of different activities for those people to do. So featured here, this is the ice rink that is actually located right in the heart of Whistler Village. So this is complimentary. You just have to pay a small fee to rent the ice skates. But a fantastic experience, and also the ice rink is surrounded by shops and cafes. You can grab a hot chocolate and watch the kids while they skate if you don't want to. Also right next to the ice rink, you can't see it in this photo, but they make a giant snow hill. So, you know, if the kids don't want to ice skate, they can just jump up on the snow hill and bring a crazy carpet and slide down. So fun for the whole family. My niece was visiting this winter, and so that was a good excuse for me to get out on the snow hill and slide down. So a lot of fun to be had right in the heart of the village. Some other popular activities, you can get out snowmobiling, and with these tours, they're fantastic because they offer kind of beginner, intermediate, and expert tours. So if someone's feeling unsure and they want to do the beginner tour, you can also register and you can potentially join the guide, so you don't have to drive your own snowmobile. So whatever your clients are looking for, they can find it, and it's a fun new way to kind of get out into the backcountry and the wilderness. We also offer sleigh ride tours, so a pretty fun Canadian experience to get into a beautiful horse-drawn sleigh ride. You get to see some beautiful views. Also, many of these sleigh ride tours are followed up with a delicious fondue dinner, so it's a pretty fantastic experience. You can get out on your sleigh ride and then come back and enjoy a delicious fondue dinner by the fire. Ziplining. So this is actually something that Whistler offers 365 days a year. Rain, snow, or shine, anytime you can get out for a ziplining adventure. So a great way to get up and experience some fantastic views and get above the trees and zip from platform to platform. Also on these tours, the guides are quite knowledgeable. They are eco-tours, so they tell you a lot about the different flora and fauna in the area, so it really helps you to learn more about the natural environment in Whistler, so they can be quite educational, those tours. Also, again, with these tours, they offer beginner, intermediate, advanced. So they have, you know, for a beginner tour, some shorter lines if you have some younger kids, and then an intermediate tour, and then they step up from there. Also, obviously, this isn't winter, but in the summertime, they have opened what's called a Sasquatch zip line. It's actually the longest zip line in North America, and it's just under the peak to peak, and you can zip from mountain to mountain. But that is summer only. Dog sledding. So again, another unique experience. There's not many places you can go to get out and learn how to maneuver your own dog sled. So they will actually teach you how to drive the dog sled, which is a pretty fun, unique experience. And for those that are potentially looking for a more relaxed experience, we do have those options available as well. So we have lots of different art galleries around town, and this Audain Art Museum has just opened, so it opened in March of 2016. So you can experience the art of British Columbia, from the traditional works of the province's First Peoples through to its contemporary masters. So it's a fantastic facility and a great option for those that are more interested in arts and culture and perhaps a more relaxed experience. And for those that are looking for just pure relaxation or a way to unwind after some big ski days, lucky we have over 20 different yoga studios and spas to choose from. So lots of yoga studios for those that are looking to take a class, and plenty of different spas for those that are looking for specialized treatments, massages, aesthetics as well. The one that I've featured here, this is the Scandinave Spa. So this one is unique in that it is a 20,000 square foot outdoor spa. So there's a variety of different steam rooms and saunas and hot pools. It's a traditional Scandinav experience, so you're actually meant to do the hot followed by a cold plunge, followed by a trip to the relaxation room. So it's supposed to be very good for your blood flow. And this is a spot that you can really just spend hours just becoming more and more relaxed. And also here they do offer various different massages as well. Whistler is also home to a variety of different festivals and events. Often on weekends or midweek, there's plenty of different competitions taking place. Something that does take place every week is the Fire and Ice Show. That's featured on the bottom right. So it's a fun, family-friendly event, and it's free, and it takes place around 7 p.m. every Sunday all winter long. So you'll see skiers and boarders fly down the mountain and go through the flaming rings of fire, and there's fire spinners and DJs, and it's just a really fun vibe, and not something that you get to see every day, but when you're in Whistler, you get to see it once a week, and it is free. So to sum up, why Whistler? Whistler has the largest ski area in North America. We have plenty of family-friendly activities, so really something for everyone while they're here, also something for every budget as well. There's an array of shopping, dining, and nightlife to choose from, and lots of different festivals and events, as I mentioned before. So I think you can know that in sending your guests here, they're going to be well looked after in our beautiful little mountain town, and there's plenty for everyone to do. So that sums up our presentation. So now we're just going to open up the floor to any questions that you might have.
Ladies, thank you so much. Such a fantastic presentation. Whistler really is such a magical place with so many things to do. So thank you. It makes me excited. So I'm sure it makes everybody else excited too. So guys, the floor's open for questions. Please type them into the chat box for Andrea from Tourism Whistler or Stephanie from Whistler Blackcomb. And yeah, let us know what your questions are. I was just thinking, Stephanie, maybe you could just run over the early bird dates again, just for bookings.
Yeah, no problem. Our first early bird booking deadline for lift tickets is August 31st. So by packaging the lift tickets with a hotel and accommodation at that time, that's the best savings. And then November 15th is our second deadline, and that would be the deadline for the next phase of lift tickets, rentals, kids ski and kids rent-free deadline, and then some of our snow school offers would be November 15th as well.
Lovely, thank you. I really did love your best day ever in your presentation. That does look like the best day ever, and yeah, you could put that one on repeat and do it over and over again.
Yes, I forgot to insert, I have one for the village too, so you can have many best days over and over.
Yeah, that's it. Ladies, I was just thinking, because I know there's so many events in Whistler, throughout the year, so maybe we could include a link or something to an events calendar in the follow-up.
Yes, we do have an events page. So when I send you all a follow-up email, I'll include that so you can take a quick browse through there.
Lovely, thanks, Andrea. And also, in terms of some of those fantastic activities, can you book those in advance as well?
All of the activities you can book in advance, and we certainly recommend that you do book everything in advance if you can, if your guests know what they want to do while they're here, especially if they do want to have a packed itinerary. You just want to ensure that they're not disappointed, so we do recommend that you contact the activity providers or have those booked in advance.
Lovely, thank you. And yeah, of course, you've got to make sure you've got time to squeeze everything in. So the days are going to be pretty busy.
That's right. And
or not busy, just relaxing. The picture of the spa is just amazing.
Yeah, that's a definite must do.
Yeah.
But actually, one thing I just wanted to mention that we didn't really cover is if you do have guests coming over the Christmas, New Year's period, if they want to book any dinner reservations throughout that holiday time, it is a good idea to book those in advance. We don't have all the information from those hotels and restaurants yet, but as we get towards September, October, I would think that Tourism Worcester would probably have that, and I would recommend booking some of those.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a great tip for Christmas time, and yeah, anyone going at Christmas, that's for a white Christmas, that's very exciting. Okay, let's see. Joe just said brilliant update, many thanks. Thanks, Joe. Any other questions or comments? There's nothing else come through. Anything else, ladies, you wanted to add? Otherwise, I think we'll wrap it up.
No, I think that's probably it. Certainly, if anyone thinks of any questions later on, they can contact us, but we will do a follow-up.
Yeah, we'll do the follow-up. So, yeah, if anything else does pop up or anything specific for any clients, then they can get in touch. All righty. Rachel says, thank you so much, Andrea and Stephanie. Fantastic update. So, well done, ladies. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah,
And,
thanks so
hope
much
to
for
see you
everyone's
next
time.
time.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you.